Warning, this podcast contains babies. Spoilers. We have spoilers in this episode?
Mm-hmm. Really noisy kind.
Spoiled baby.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to the ASOTVpodcast for iZombie, Season 1, Episode 7, Maternity Liv. I'm your host, Dom. With me, my co-host, Nikki.
Hi.
And my co-host, Kim.
Hi.
Hi. How's it going?
So excited to be here. You're a pterodactyl.
Look what you made me do. So, what'd you guys think of this dinosaur-free episode?
You're a dick.
More dinosaurs.
No? Nothing?
No.
It was good.
Yeah.
So is that tea you're drinking?
It is good. That's why I was drinking it.
The brain kicked in quickly.
It did.
It did.
It did.
Well, I mean, like, being pregnant, you have a lot of more hormones and stuff, so I'm pretty sure the brain is a bit more potent.
Makes sense. Though, she kicked into... That's something we were talking about a little bit. She kicked into more of the after mother than a pregnant woman.
Yeah.
She really went into the mother instincts, clicheing, licking your thumb, sticking it in, someone's hair, the protective part, and not, I was expecting maybe some morning sickness or any of those, symptoms of
That should have been what it was.
Yeah, but isn't morning sickness more of like an early pregnancy thing?
Not necessarily. It depends upon the person, and it depends upon even a person that didn't have morning sickness in one pregnancy, in the next could. Like, they could be sick their entire pregnancy. It all depends on all kinds of things.
She pretty much got sick when she ate the brain last episode, so we already saw her on the verge of vomiting her food up, so...
That was because it was rotten.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like it would have been a little too much of the same thing, 2 episodes back to back, so I'm glad they actually didn't go in that direction. But the maternal instincts that kick in for after having the baby kind of make sense because the brain did die. The body died. So she did give birth, not while she was alive, but, the brain shutting down like that would pretty much be the end of the pregnancy.
But at the same time, she was very young. And this was
she was a teenager.
First, never. So the instincts will be there a little bit, being it's just there are some that are just instinctively there. Mm-hmm. But there are some things that you learn over time, and that was not... You were getting things that you would learn over time, not something that a teenager would be a little messed up and be like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was expecting her to be a little more emotional, like her emotions all over the place, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's another typical stereotype when it comes to pregnant women, is they can't control their emotions, and 1 minute they're laughing, and the next minute they're crying, and then they're mad, and, that's a stereotype, but...
it happens.
No cravings! Come on!
Oh yeah, there were no cravings, right. There was nothing...
Also, if you're pregnant, you're not supposed to eat sushi.
Pretty sure if you're pregnant, you're probably not supposed to eat brains either.
Probably a lot of things you're not supposed to eat.
So
probably shouldn't be around all that medical grossness either.
Yeah, I mean...
There's a lot of chemicals you're not supposed to be around.
That's true, too. But granted, she wasn't actually pregnant, so...
No, but...
Yeah. It definitely was interesting to see the way it played out. In terms of the actual, cravings and the emotional ties to it weren't as big of a deal as they could have been, but where they actually went to focus is more on the relationship between Liv and her mother, which was actually kind of nice to see that story kind of unfold, and, even seeing her brother again, kind of played some role into that, and that was interesting.
I definitely like that they made them a bigger, important part, especially what it may lead into in the next few episodes, if what it looks like, which is kind of, a scary thought process of what might happen.
Yep. I mean, I think he'll be thrown into that situation, but they're not going to hurt him.
I don't think so either, but also if Blaine learns that they're related, he could use her brother as leverage.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's what you're getting at, yeah.
That's the direction I think it might go.
I mean, once again, we did not see Blaine in this episode, but we got to see one of his lackeys, the quote-unquote Candyman.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Major, what did you get yourself into?
Oh, God. I loved it when he was in that prison cell.
Oh.
That jail cell, oh, boy. They were looking at him like, ooh, he's sweet.
I mean, he took a crowbar to Candyman's car, right? I was like, okay, all right. You got a receipt, you got the guy's name, and he goes back and he finds brains in the Tupperware container, Rubbermaid, whatever it is, and then the police show up, and I was like, well, you're fucked. And for a moment, just a tiny moment, when he pointed the brains out to the police, I thought he was going to get off the hook.
Oh, I know. I thought, oh my god, it's just going to go down, and Blaine's going to be in more shit, and and then it all changed real quick, and it's like, oh.
Yeah, the Candyman's like, I work at a butcher, we have calf brains, it's considered a delicacy, here's my card, and, as we know, it's the same one that Liv's brother is going to be applying to. So that's going to cause some issues, because out of all the job applications he was handed, we know which one he's going to end up getting.
Of course.
So.
Oh.
That will be interesting. But yeah, no. So now Major's in jail, and do you think any of those guys in jail with him are zombies?
Maybe.
I didn't think about it till now. I mean, I guess
now everybody's a zombie in my eyes.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Oh, we got to see the lieutenant dude zombie out and he got shot, and he was just like, so whatever.
I am more on, when it comes to him, I am more on the train where he accidentally got turned like Lowell and stuff. Like, I don't think Blaine placed him because he is a figure of power. I think he just accidentally, maybe he was curious and sniffed a little bit of utopium, or he got scratched in a scuffle with a zombie because he was, there was a crime going on.
I don't really trust him.
I feel like because he's hiding the fact that the kids, and we know the Candyman is involved in that scene.
I guess.
And the whole pinning all the missing kids that have been going from the skate park just happened to show up at the crime scene of this crime. He's pinning that off elsewhere now, so he's covering for that. And every time the media is involved,
yeah,
he's
covering because maybe that's his only source of food. But maybe he was still placed, and he just kind of fell into this saying, I need it, so I have to help.
I feel like it's a bit of a stretch.
I don't know. I mean, it's possible, but I definitely don't trust him. I think there's something else going on there, and he obviously knows Liv is a zombie, and he hasn't said anything. You got the look. There at the end, you get the I know what you are.
Yeah, but Lowell knew the moment he saw her. So, I mean, if another zombie can pick out his... It makes sense that he's like, I know what you are because the way you look. Mm-hmm. And then she got the bullet in the leg, and she's like, I just got poked. He's like, oh yeah, not much
by a stick.
Yeah, but he's not coming out to her. Like, he's staying quiet about that he's one too.
Who would he tell? Her. He's observing her.
Who would he tell?
Tell her.
No, her.
Out to her. He hasn't come out to her.
I don't think he would want to. Because then, if he goes, you're a zombie, she'd be like, well, then you're a zombie? Like, I think she would connect that, be like, how do you know? Because it doesn't seem like any other human other than Ravi would know, to her anyways. So, I think she would come to the conclusion immediately that he was also a zombie, and he's just doing the trick that everybody else is doing.
Well, yeah.
Hair,
so
the
he's
tan.
hiding. So he's, like I'm saying, that's like they hold that whole, he's hiding.
Keeping
himself hidden. So that's why I'm all like, I don't exactly trust you because you're hiding yourself.
I don't trust Lowell then, because he's hiding too. He's hiding his identity.
He came out. He came out to her.
He did come out to her. And Ravi.
Mm-hmm.
There is
Leave
that.
zombie rat.
And actually, Lowell was really interesting this episode, eating the brains of a homosexual.
So
And
that transfers.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, okay, so your sexual orientation transfers.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Very interesting dynamic, and I liked when they were like looking at pictures of guys on the phone, and they're like, it looked like they were like judging, like, oh, what do you think about this one? You know.
oh, he's definitely a 7.
So.
That I liked the whole scene of them partying
It's
together and drinking and dancing. It was very little,
Can I just
moment.
point out that there was the best opportunity for them to do the Thriller dance there, and they didn't do it. Like, I was waiting. As soon as I saw like the little montage, I'm waiting for the. It didn't happen.
That would have been entertaining. Not gonna lie. That
would have absolutely loved it. Yeah, they probably wouldn't have had the rights to the Michael Jackson song on there, but whatever song they were using in the montage, they could have made it work.
I mean, isn't the dance also
maybe
copyrighted?
Maybe, but
I'm sure if they did like 2 seconds of it, no one.
They could have done something similar.
If they just would have done this, that probably would have been enough, and everyone would be like, "Oh, that's funny," and that'd be it.
I would have loved it. I really would have. That was the most disappointing part about this episode to me. It was not anything to do with anything else. It was that they didn't do Thriller.
Oh, I'll tell you what my disappointment was. We started talking about the dog barking, and then we heard the dogs barking, and I'm like, "Oh, are we gonna wear terrier?"
Yeah. Well, we still didn't actually see the dogs. That's the other thing. We never actually saw them. So they could have been.
Are you right?
Wait, wasn't
we saw their
dogs, but it wasn't those dogs?
Yeah, it wasn't those dogs.
No.
Okay.
It wasn't the dogs that were in the truck. It was the dad's dogs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's possible. As soon as they started talking about it, oh, I heard dogs, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I was like,
ooh. But
I got excited.
Yeah, I mean, we still got a little bit to go for the season. The season's not exactly... We're
just over the halfway mark.
Yeah, we're just over the halfway mark. So, if our guesstimates are correct, we probably will see it in the finale. Something, maybe leading towards it. Like, they may have seeded the idea, like we had it last week in the Zombie Reality Bites episode. We did have the Were-Terrier in the video game. So, they're making little references to it. So, they're well aware that they exist in this universe in some way, shape, or form, so they're just toying with us at this point.
So, is Robbie fooling around with rats with the zombie virus? Because at the very end...
It wasn't the zombie virus. It was...
it's the drug.
It's the actual drug.
And an energy drink or something? Or...
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't remember. He was playing... It was more than just the Utopian. He was playing with
the Utopian. Yeah, because he went down the rat cage. He goes, this one has 20%, this one has 40%, this one has 60%, this one has 80%. Like, and he went down, and like, we see at the end of the episode, one of the rats is a zombie.
Yeah.
So, unlike various other forms of the zombie virus, this one can cross between species.
Black Plague?
Oh God. It might not be able to cross, but they could still be infected by the original dosage. I don't know if... Because that would just seem...
What if that rat bites someone?
Huh?
What if that rat bites someone, or that rat scratches someone? Are they now a zombie?
Just unleash the zombie apocalypse in rats.
That seems like it would be too much.
No, that wouldn't be too much. You want to know what's too much? Imagine a mosquito lands on that rat.
Exactly!
That would be too much.
Like the fleas on the rat.
It's too much. I don't think... I think it'll be species specific. It's just,
zombie plague.
I mean, it really depends on how they want to go with that, because they're already alluding to the fact that the same drug is bringing out a zombie virus in another species. And we know in the Resident Evil movies that the birds were infected, and they carried the disease and were able to give it to people. So,
Wait. Which Resident Evil?
Apocalypse? Or 4, 5?
It was, because they swarmed. They had the crows.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
the whole
Because as soon
swarm
as
of
you
crows.
mentioned, like, carrying the virus through birds, I thought of 28 Days Later. Because that obviously came out first.
Right.
Beforehand, so that's where my mind went.
Yeah. It's just Resident Evil seems to be one of the more popular. Like Walking Dead, it does not seem like there's any animal contaminants. We haven't seen any evidence for it, but they haven't gone out of their way to show any evidence against it either. So we're just under the assumption that that's not how it works in Walking Dead. But you know, in the games, I think the Resident Evil games, it was carried between animals as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Dog.
So there was dogs.
The dogs.
There were crows in there too. So yeah, it really depends on the telling of it, and it seems like iZombie is going in the direction of the animals because, especially getting into the Were Terrier region, if they do go in that route, then you know there may be other animals out there that may have a mutation because of the utopium, have different effects of it, and that may be how Were Terriers are born too. So.
Oh. See, I haven't read the comic books, so I didn't know how all that other stuff works. Like werewolves and the vampires and all that stuff.
I'm just guessing at this point. I don't know any concrete of how they were formed in the comics. So maybe anyone who dies with utopium in their system comes back as a ghost. You know, who knows? You ladies have anything else for this episode?
Really? I mean,
covered the rats.
The whole thing with her being maternal, I mean, it didn't seem that prominent as far as all the other brains that she's eaten. Mm-hmm. It seemed like this had and it didn't help her solve the case, to me anyways.
No, I think it was more about setting up the plot with her family. I think that was more what that was in that direction. It wasn't really meant to be, to be more. Yeah, it wasn't. It didn't help her do any of the case solving and stuff. That was just her trying to figure stuff out. It was more about connecting with her brother, connecting with her mom again, and that stuff. And funny little stupid details in the middle, because like her thumb and trying to stick it in someone's hair was like, touching me.
Yeah. Yeah. Next week, the episode is called Dead Air. And in it, Liv has a vision that might be a game changer. Liv and Clive work together to solve a murder of a morning radio talk show host who specialized in relationship straight talk. That will be an interesting dynamic to see how that'll play out between her and...
Major?
No, not Major. What's his name?
Lowell.
Yes. Liv becomes filled to the brim with an insight after consuming the brains, making Clive extremely uncomfortable when Liv starts getting personal. Meanwhile, Peyton steps in to help Major, and Blaine issues a warning. Finally, Ravi's unexpected romantic connection has the potential to make things awkward for Liv. I like the way Kim's face just lit up there when I mentioned Ravi's love connection.
I'm like, oh, he's gonna profess his love to Liv.
Dun, dun, dun. Or what if he's got a crush on Major?
Or Liv's roommate.
Or Liv's brother. Or Liv's mother.
Just stop.
We're just throwing him.
Or what if he's got a crush on Nikki?
Who are we talking about? I forgot.
Robbie.
Whatever. He makes money.
Oh, there you go.
Probably.
There you go.
Now if it was Major, we'd be like, oh, on top of that shit.
I don't care if you make zero money.
What if he's got a crush on Major? So, Nikki, where can the people find you?
They can find me on Twitter at LadyVenom24, LadyVenom24.
Is that where we can learn how to keep Major's towel on? Or is that how we can learn how to keep Major's towel off? Kim, where can the people find you?
I forgot. At Huffy Puffy, HUFFITY, and I will take that towel off.
Whoa! Wow!
Pics or it didn't happen.
Ooh. Was there any sexual remarks in this episode?
Other
Probably.
than the sexual orientation transferred with the brain.
Yeah. There wasn't any kinky things going on though, right?
Not really. There was a conversation about her. She thought she was being friend zoned, which I thought was pretty funny.
Yeah. That was definitely interesting.
The friend bump. I was like, oh, it's like the friend tap. Give someone a hug and they do this little tap tap.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started. Anyway.
You can find me down below at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM. Thank you. You can also find us all on Facebook, Gmail, G+, Twitter, MySpace, and right here on YouTube at /ASOTVpodcast for some more podcasts or some of your favorite TV shows. Until next week. See you guys later.
Ciao.
Kim, why do you shake your head every time I say the word MySpace?
No, it's...
Sorry, something about that word just makes me cough.